Welcome back to Cincinnati. Mixed doubles action for you all day on this beautiful Friday. We have a really fun matchup coming your way first here in its entirety. Jack Munro and Kelsey Grambeau taking on Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane in this quarterfinals round. Trying to earn a spot in the semifinals and get one step closer to that all-important gold medal. It's going to be Jack Munro getting us started with the serve. Great return from Susanna Barr, setting the tone and forcing the early side out.
Ooh, I like that step in there from Lane. Again, standing a little too tall as he hits that. Stay low, explode through that. That's the right move. Oh, reading. Nice hands.
No,
but
I mean,
it hit his paddle.
Yeah, excellent earning there from Grambeau. She just didn't put enough on it right here. Munro steps over into the middle to cover, and Lane puts it back behind him nicely.
Well, in this too, Chad, we talk about it. This is always an interesting matchup when you have one guy lefty, one right, or one guy's a lefty, one guy's a righty. It puts the ladies face up and the guys face up on each other.
So walk me through in mixed doubles why that creates such an interesting dynamic.
Well, because again, now it's going to be, can the lady keep that ball down? Right here, I'm going to give it a little bit of an advantage to Barr over Grambeau because she likes going face up. On the other side, I think it is a little advantage to Munro face up on Lane. So again, we'll see how that plays out.
So after moving quickly on to their second serve, Lane and Barr on an early run here in game number 1. 4-0, your score, and Lane still serving.
You know, going back to your comment about why this is difficult, in a sense, is that you see right there, Munro is very easily isolated out of the point. Grambeau is now, if she goes down the line, would typically we see in mixed doubles with women going with the women. You know, now both guys aren't in the point. But Grambeau goes cross-court, easy for Lane to go back cross-court to her. So now it's difficult for Munro to insert himself into the point.
And that's going to be it right there. Is Grambeau has to go cross-court to Lane. She has to get Munro involved. If she doesn't and goes straight up to Barr, then her and Barr are just going at it one-on-one.
Susanna Barr, like you mentioned, Chad, or Dom, one of the best mixed doubles players on the women's side, reigning number 1. But it is the first time that she's partnered up with Brandon Lane, so that dynamic going to be fun to watch throughout this match.
Yeah,
Jack Munro getting big for the winner.
But that's a tough speed up for Lane because he thinks, like, typically that's not going to be Munro's forehand right there, but it is because he's lefty. If he's going to go anywhere with that speed up, he's got to go behind him.
Chance to tie things up here for Grambeau and
you got it.
Munro. Sorry about that.
You combined them.
Really close. I really did. It's just they're playing so in sync.
Well, the ball looked like it was almost wide there down the line. Barr missing that one a little short. You know, if Munro has continued to isolate out of this point, he is going to become a lot more aggressive. You see how quick he changes from the left hand to right hand there.
Crazy. Insane.
3-4-1, the score for Kelsey Grambeau's serve.
Oh, he almost dug that out. Ball was behind him.
Munro serves right-handed, hits a right-handed overhead, plays predominantly left-handed, but what allows him to switch so quickly there to the right hand, I'll finish it in a second. Oh, Lane had it. Ball got behind him just a little bit, but Munro hits a two-handed backhand. So when he goes to that right hand, he literally just takes the left hand off the paddle, and he's right there. When you're hitting that two-handed backhand, the top hand is predominantly what's doing the majority of the work. So it is somewhat of an easier switch there for Munro to hit that right-handed forehand.
Munro, the youngest 5-0 player in pickleball, but did take 4 years off to go to high school and played baseball until he hurt his shoulder. Then he returned here to pickleball, and it's been cool to see, especially in the last year or so. He's just getting more and more confident, more and more comfortable with his playing style, Chad, which you just articulate is relatively unique among pickleball players.
Well, and he's also one of the players. I mean, Munro has hit some shots that we haven't seen before. And if you have followed him on any of his social media platforms, you'll see some of those shots. But the ability to be able to switch hands so quickly and be consistent with both hands, it gives him much more reach. It gives him better court coverage. And we're still looking for the ball back here in the tens. I think we may end up getting a new ball here.
Kelsey Grambeau and Jack Munro working on their first lead here in game number 1, 5-4.
Let's just call him Grambeau from here on. Then you're just covering both.
Grambeau.
It's always nice to have a good nickname if you're going to partner up.
I mean, Grambeau or Munro, whichever one you want to go.
Second serve here on championship court is going to be Brandon Lane with the serve.
That ball probably going out right there. Barr can't get her paddled down.
Well, if she did, it would have hit her in the chest anyway.
Yeah. Tough ball.
It's a good ball there from Lane. Grambeau still with the feet moving in transition there. When the feet are still moving and we're trying to reset, we don't have that solid base, so it's very difficult to keep that ball down.
Oh, it looked like Grambeau wanted to speed that up. She ran around it to get what she wanted, but then changed her mind at the last second off the tape.
Puts the ball back on the side of Barr and Lane. Susanna with the serve, and a strong one as the return goes into the net off the paddle of Kelsey Grambeau.
Well, game of runs here early. Barr and Lane had a 4-0, then a 5-0 from Grambeau and Munro.
That's a good move there from Lane. Got the ball that he wanted, just a little late on the backhand. You see him step over, quick flick, and catches that net cord for Grambeau as well.
That's a good spot right there by Lane. That's right at that we talk about all the time, Chad, center mass. Tough to get out of the way and even get a paddle on that at the chest.
Good ball there. Good counter from Grambeau right to the feet of Barr as she's transitioning.
5-6-1, the score for Kelsey Grambeau's serve. Good placement there. In that spot in the middle, always susceptible for even the most seasoned of partnerships, but this case, both Lane and Barb putting a paddle on it, ties us up, 6-all.
Oh, that ball skipped off the line right there. Nice ball from Grambeau. Hard cross court. Gets the sideline.
Gives them the edge here in what has become a very tightly contested game one.
Oh, good hands from Brandon Lane right there.
Yeah, there's a couple of balls there from Munro that he didn't quite center in the paddle, didn't get the power on it that he wanted. Gave Lane the opportunity to get back into the point.
Another out ball. Again, tough to let those go right at you, but got to have that discipline, let those balls go.
That's a very good step over there from Munro. And you see Grambeau recognize it at the same time as well. She takes a step back from the kitchen line, gives Munro room to move there and finish with the forehand. If she hugs the line there, Munro's not able to step over.
Munro and Grambeau finding a little bit of rhythm here and sets them up for a game point opportunity. Timeout called on the court by Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane. They want a minute to think about this as they trail by 4 here in game number 1 to Kelsey Grambeau and Jack Munro. Gives us a chance here to take a Tervis hydration break along with them. The weather has been unpredictable in a lot of ways here from Cincinnati, but the one thing you know, whenever you're on a pickleball court, got to stay hydrated. So shout out to Tervis for making sure that we do so here in the booth.
Well, especially here, you know, it's not as hot, but it is humid. There have been a couple of players already early this morning that are a little dehydrated because you're not thinking about drinking as much when it is cooler temps, but the humidity is up.
Yeah, we're in the Midwest over the summer. Again, it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid. Got to stay hydrated, and thanks to Tervis, we get to in the booth as well.
So back on the court here, some action coming out of this timeout. What is the key for Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane to defend this game point, Chad?
Well, they have to try to take Munro out of the equation, but the issue is if you go down the line to Grambeau, it gives Munro the room to step over. So in reality, go back behind him. Yeah, and that was the ball there from Barr. It wasn't an aggressive ball cross court, but it forced Munro to step back away from the middle. She was then able to be a little bit more aggressive toward Grambeau. Again, 2 balls, and it's
the honest ball.
Two easy cross-court dinks behind Munro, takes him 2 steps away from the middle, doesn't give him time, and then it gives the ability to attack Grambeau.
So out of the timeout, a quick side out forced for Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane, and then 2 points added to their own total. Still on their first serve.
Finally was able to slap that backhand hard enough to put it at the feet, and a quick timeout from Grambeau and Munro.
But the get there from Lane where, I mean, it was T-Rex right there.
Yeah.
It was the whole body just getting it back.
And so a 3-0 run here for Brandon Lane and Susanna Barr to put themselves 1 point away from tying us up here in game 1. Another look at that winner from Lane.
Yeah, there's that T-Rex. He fights it off, gets to another ball. That backhand puts it away after fighting off 1 game point. Now they score 3 straight and are right back in this, still on first serve here.
So trailing by 1 out of this timeout that Grambeau and Munro called to try and slow this momentum. What do Lane and Barr have to do to keep going?
Well, again, right now they're doing exactly what Chad said. You got to keep Munro honest. Keep him out of the middle. Go 1 ball behind him. It just puts him back on his side, and then it opens up the court. So Barr doing a good job going behind Munro with just 1 ball to get him back on his side.
That ball sailing long, so on to their second serve.
Oh. Right foot on the line.
So Kelsey Grambeau with a kitchen fault on the Ernie will tie things up here at 10. Huge call.
Let me take a look here.
Oh, yeah.
Right on the line. Yeah, so I'm watching Grambeau's footwork there on the Ernie as well, and what's difficult is that she skirts the kitchen line, and then as she takes that step forward with the right foot, the left foot's already so tight, rather than what we typically see with the Ernie is jumping the corner.
Nice step back there from Lane, puts that nice topspin on it, gives Grambeau a little bit of pressure.
And I understand the return there to Munro. You're keeping him back, not allowing him to come forward, but Grambeau struggled the last few points, and they almost let some of Lane and Barr let some of the pressure off.
There it is. Again, right there, just like you said, Check.
Go at Grambeau. She's a little bit tighter. She floats that third.
So a second game point successfully defended for Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane. Ball back on their side, trying to tie things up. Great placement there by Munro, though just takes enough off it at the feet of Barr. So on to their second serve. Lane with it.
Little hesitant there from Barr on that drop. Just left it floating. Good deep ball from Grambeau.
So third game point opportunity here. Kelsey Grambeau trying to finish it off. Lane, though, refusing to say quit. Finds a spot behind Munro. Pushes him onto their second serve.
Well, he's not backing away from that hands battle with Jack Munro. They've had a couple pretty even right now. Oh, good spot right there. Two-handed backhand from Susanna Barr. And Chad, again, it's return to Grambeau right now. I know that, Munro is going to come up and be active, but her thirds haven't been dialed in here the second half of the game.
I'd almost be at that point. You floated some third shot drops, drive a couple. Good hands there from Munro.
Got to get at least one here. You've given up and held off 4 game points here. You got to at least tie this one up here.
That ball's just wide. Lane tried to rush that one. Got a ball he could step into.
So instead, it's a 5th game point opportunity here. Kelsey Grambeau with the first serve.
Drive it. Nice counter there from Barr. Put Grambeau just on the back foot.
Jack Munro with the game point opportunity.
He played it off a short hop.
Well, you want to talk about a time to have an excellent cut backhand dink. There was that one there from Grambeau. Creates the pop-up. Munro to be able to go into the body.
Took them longer than they would have liked, but Kelsey Grambeau and Jack Munro get it done here in Game 1 of our mixed doubles quarterfinals action. We'll have Game 2 when we come back to Championship Court.
The Pro XR Pickleball Paddle answers the age-old question of how to get paddle speed and control with the same paddle and one grip, and this is it. Pro XR gives you more spin, greater control, and quicker reloads on every shot in the game, because you always have that constant feel for that leverage and control and paddle speed that we're all looking for. Pro XR is the most revolutionary technology in pickleball.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
18 years from tonight, Grant Gill will become a legend when he totally kills it at his improv class's graduation performance. Knees will be slapped. Suds will be sprayed. People won't know what hurts more, their cheeks or their sides. That's why he's already keeping himself in shape and razor sharp today with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
To be clear, Fulfill is a protein bar, not a candy bar. Don't let its creamy, chocolatey goodness confuse you, or the fact that you hide them from anyone with a sweet tooth.
You saw nothing.
I saw nothing.
Fulfill. We swear it's a protein bar.
The APP is sponsored by LS, official on-court apparel of the APP Tour. C&D Nets, the highest quality nets made in the USA. And Tervis, the original insulated tumbler. Kelsey Grambeau and Jack Munro have done a great job here in Game 1. What's made them so dominant here, Chad?
Well, it's been the ability for Munro to be able to step in and insert himself into the point. At the beginning of this game, they were able to isolate Munro a little bit more, but what that does when you try to isolate somebody, it actually gives Munro a little bit more freedom to step over.
So Game 2 getting underway now, but if there's one person in mixed doubles you do not want to count out, it is Susanna Barr. Her and Brandon Lane start with the ball on their side.
Good job by Grambeau, keeping Barr back and then using that sideline to step out and put pressure on. Now it changed to Grambeau and Munro into the wind a little bit from what we saw, but now it looks like it almost shifts and is now back behind Grambeau and Munro.
You said that twice just to show off to AJ that you could say it without saying Grambeau.
I did. I'm cool with that.
And you talk about me being a not nice guy. I was going to say another word, but I'll leave that to the imagination. Oh. Good pressure there from both Munro and Grambeau. Grambeau going to the sideline. Munro stepping over in the middle. A couple of nice overheads.
Pushes Lane and Barr onto their second serve. Strong serve from Brandon Lane. Kelsey Grambeau can't get it back over.
That's like 3 or 4 missed returns by Grambeau. He had I think 3 in the first, or 2 in the first, now 1 here in the second.
Oh, Barr going with the fake Ernie as well.
Oh, just slid a little too far on that two-handed backhand. Good spot there from Kelsey Grambeau.
Jack Munro with the serve, trying to get him and Kelsey on the board.
Oh, excellent defense to get themselves back into the point, specifically the block from Munro down at the feet. Nice overhead from Grambeau to finish. A missed return there from Barr.
Little cut serve from Munro on that last one.
Yeah, that was ambitious.
And
That was a tough one, especially with the wind kind of pushing that ball down. But I think, Don, we always go back and forth over the years between which is more important, offense or defense. And I think we're at the point now is if I was to give a recommendation to players at home or players that come and take clinics or lessons or whatever else like that, the focus on the defense to stay in a point right now is more important.
Yeah, because of the players being so offensive.
Yes.
You need to be able to play good defense to stay in points.
4-1-2, the score for Kelsey Grambeau's serve. Munro leaving that one into the net, so it'll be a side out.
Obviously, we want both offense and defense, but if there was an area to focus on first, it would be defense. Then you can work on your offense.
Oh, Munro's all over that counter right there. Just got on top of it a little too much.
Brandon Lane with the serve.
Yeah, nice 1-2 combo right there. The speed up and the put away there from Brandon Lane. Back within one.
3-4-1. Your score here in mixed doubles quarterfinals action.
Ball's just wide. We do have a challenge system.
New to the APP Tour this year is players can challenge a call when it ends the point. So that would have been a reviewable challenge. Barr and Lane opt not to do it and instead turns into a side out here for Grambeau and Munro.
Ball just floated on Munro there.
The wind kind of coming in squalls, if you will. It's hitting and then it's not.
I think Munro's going to challenge this one.
So we were just talking about the challenge system. Jack Munro opting to do that. So new to the APP Tour this year, players can challenge a call when it ends the point, but it must be a line call. And so we have a video official, Tammy Califf, going to be doing it for this match. So you can review only the line calls, must be a rally ending shot, and this is the important part. There is no limit on the challenges, but after you have 3 failed challenges, you do get a technical warning.
And then if you get a second technical warning, then it's a technical foul.
So for players, this is not only an opportunity to actually review a ball that they want to see again get confirmed in or out, but we've talked about it a few times this season where it is also an opportunity to almost use it as a timeout, to get a chance to regroup, talk with your partner. So if Munro and Grambeau are doing that in this particular challenge, what is the conversation?
Well, honestly, with this one, I don't foresee it as this was a usable ball for a timeout as well. I think Munro's challenging this one because it was on a first serve. It is 4-3. He thought that the ball was in, and by the looks right there, the ball is in.
Can see it.
So now this allows them to have the 2 serves to try to get a little bit more gap, a little bit more space here.
The serve was in.
And that's not a call there for Lane where he's really, saying, trying to go, and wasn't a blatant out call. Off the paddle, it did look like that ball was going to be about a foot out, but wind pushed it down.
15 seconds. Time in. 5-3-1.
So it'll be 5-3-1, the score for Jack Munro's serve.
And the hard part about that, too, he called that. He didn't have a problem returning.
Yeah, he
returned it in.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
5-3-2.
And so it's a point, 2-point lead. Great
the
kid
defense
from Grambeau. Incredible on her back foot, digging that out and just putting it back in play.
Yeah, Grambeau tried to rush up to the kitchen line there. The smart play was from Munro, where it wasn't quite a lob, but it was an elevated drop that allowed both Munro and Grambeau to get back into position. Oh, just wide.
Beautiful around the post from Brandon Lane. Munro there to defend it, but pushes it wide.
Yeah, good defense there from Munro. He's trying to hit the open spot, almost overhit it a little bit. That's a dirty drop from Susanna Barr, allowing Brandon Lane to get up there and hit that backhand winner.
Chance here to tie things up here in game number 2 for Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane. After dropping game 1, they got to win here to force a game 3.
Oh, 3
Oh,
out
my
balls.
goodness. That is
Barr hit
crazy.
2, Lane hit 1.
Another look here.
1, 2.
Nice control right there from Kelsey Grambeau on the drop. She goes cross court to Lane. Keeps them in that point. Not before Barr and Lane do answer. Back within 1 here.
A little too big on the swing, on that second swing from Munro. Good hands by Lane.
6-5-2 for Kelsey Grambeau. Lane stepping over and Grambeau taking advantage of the open court behind him. Gets the point.
Yeah, it's just wrong spot there from Lane. A little bit of miscommunication and confusion there from Lane and Barr. But as soon as Lane steps over and goes straight down the line of the backhand of Grambeau, opens up that angle ability.
Angle ability. Is that one word or 2
no,
words?
2 words.
Okay.
Two separate
I
words.
thought you had a new word.
Angle. Hey, you know, who knows? I got a lot of words.
I like the combo there.
Can I bring back recognition?
Yes.
Did it ever leave?
Yeah, I stopped saying it.
Oh. Great spot there. Munro with the winner down the middle. Pushing one to their second serve. 5-7-2 for Susanna Barr. Oh, Munro almost gets there. Can't put the shape on the around the post. So it's a 1-point game here in game number 2.
We've seen Munro make that shot quite a few times where the ball's completely past him, but he's able to shape it and hook it around.
So Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane with a critical opportunity here to tie things up. Getting towards the back half of this second game. And Barr getting a little bit of help off the tape. Kelsey Grambeau can't adjust in time, so tie game, 7-7-2.
Nice spot there from Munro. Little misdirect going behind Lane on the backhand side as he was looking to get big in the middle.
Grambeau with the serve.
Oh, and that ball died on Grambeau. It was coming, and then all of a sudden wind caught it. It kind of checked up on her.
7-7-2.
You can hear that wind start to pick up on our court mics here on Championship Court in Cincinnati.
Oh, nice little inside out there from Susanna Barr. Using that reach. They hold, don't give up any more points.
Really important side out there for Barr and Lane. Ties things up. Brandon Lane with the serve.
Wow, and that ball, again, high drop from Lane. He's got to get in a little more. Kind of watched it.
she
they let it go.
hesitated.
Great lead there from Susanna Barr.
Talking about Grambeau, right?
Yeah.
Like she wanted to go early and then stopped.
You'll see it right here. Move and then stop on one foot. Flat paddle. Didn't get any roll on it.
So it is Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane who take their first lead here since they had a 1-0 lead in game one, but side out here. So back on the side of Grambeau and Munro.
Nice hands there from Munro. They got away with one in the middle there for Barr and Lane with a miscommunication again, but Munro chooses the right ball to step up and be aggressive on.
Lane with a great forehand behind Munro, pushing him onto their second serve.
The defense, though, from Grambeau and Munro right now, they are digging themselves out of trouble and almost with 2, 3, 4 times in major trouble and then dropping a ball in and getting the point back to 50-50 pretty much.
Really impressive work here. Grambeau and Munro take game one, tied here in game two.
There it is again.
Nice reach in there from Lane.
But again, Grambeau was 3, 4 feet behind the baseline for 2 balls. Eventually drops one in perfect and gets it back to a neutral point. I mean, the defense right now is impeccable from Grambeau and Munro, and that's keeping them in
Thumb
here.
thrown out impeccable. Never heard him use that one before.
The play on the court, I understand why you use that word. It has been great to watch for Grambeau and Munro. It's now Barr and Lane, though, with a chance to take the lead here in game number 2. Finally, Lane getting the best of that hands battle. Finds a spot behind Munro for the point.
I mean, just an incredible hands battle. Watch this right here. Ball not touching the ground. Brandon Lane jacked up about that point right there. Gives them a 1-point lead.
Understandably so. Brandon Lane and Susanna Barr, like we mentioned, playing in their first match together, or excuse me, first tournament together here on the APP Tour. And Susanna Barr is certainly the veteran in terms of mixed doubles championship experience. But Brandon Lane, somebody who doesn't back down from a challenge. This guy wants to fight, wants to be here on the APP Tour, and also spends a lot of time in the water battling giants of a different kind. Big surfer.
Is he fighting giant squid?
Brandon Lane. No, the monsters that come into Waimea Bay over in Hawaii. Spends a lot of time surfing some of the biggest breaks on the island of Oahu, and just got back from a surf trip in El Salvador. So he's ready for the challenge. Loves having the opportunity to stay in these championship opportunities here with Susanna Barr, and up by 1 here in a game 2 that they must win if they want to force a decisive game 3 and keep their medal hopes alive here in Cincinnati. Susanna Barr with the serve, 9-8-1.
Second server. 9-8-2.
On to their second serve, Lane with it. So out of the timeout, serving exactly what it wanted to for Munro and Grambeau. Side out.
Well, Grambeau and Munro found Brandon Lane for the thirds. They did not allow Susanna Barr to get a good drop in there. Lane with the drive and the counter, they put that one away, and then the high drop, and they put that one away. Oh, and it hits Jack in the back. Side.
Susanna Barr ready for that one. Great job getting the ball back over onto their second serve.
Yeah. I get where Munro's going right there, where he's trying to be a little bit more aggressive, take over more, but in that situation there, it created some confusion for Grambeau.
So Barr and Lane with a chance to extend their lead, and they do, setting up game point opportunity here.
Well, inside-out attack there from Susanna Barr right at the body of Jack Munro, not allowing him to extend his hands.
10-8-1, Lane with the score, with the serve.
I just don't like that drive right there. You're too deep. You have Grambeau and Munro with great hands. Let's drop that in, work your way up. They fight off the first game point.
Oh, she did it again. The wind blows it away from Grambeau as she goes for the uni.
And instead, it is a game point for Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane. They take game 2 here on Championship Court. Mixed doubles quarterfinals action. Let's head to a game 3, shall we, to decide who moves on to our semifinals here in Cincinnati. We'll be right back with the APP Vlasic Classic Cincinnati when we come back.
No, since I've been using Leo Rubber, I've had way less problem on my AT band and hips. It has been really a game changer for me, so I highly recommend it to everyone.
That's what makes it so different. The whole idea about balanced compression, it improves your blood flow, reduces your fatigue. At the end of the day, you feel so much better.
I feel comfortable, I feel supported, I feel like I can train harder, train longer, recover faster, and feel supported while I'm playing. And that's so crucial for me, especially in singles when I'm trying to play against the youngest. I'm not the youngest out there, but I try and play against the youngest.
At Typical Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the third health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I finally feel in control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious. With better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best.
Welcome back to our live mixed doubles quarterfinal action here at the APP Vlasic Classic Cincinnati. A tight one here on Championship Court. Kelsey Grambeau and Jack Munro take game 1, but Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane relentless in game 2. Take it 11-8. Let's take another look at our Gamma Live to Play rally of the match.
Oh, this is great firefight here from all 4 players. Eventually, Brandon Lane finding an opening down the sideline behind Jack Munro. And again, look at how big he is there in the middle, covering a lot of court. It kind of fired them up and propelled them to that game 2 victory.
And so now it's a game 3. Winner of this one moves on to our semifinals here at the APP Vlasic Classic Cincinnati, keeping their medal hopes alive. Jack Munro, 19 years old, going to get us started with the serve.
Barr trying to attack that ball right there. Tough attack. Dropped a little bit too much on her.
It's in.
Oh, wow. I think Grambeau didn't see it.
Oh, my God. Please tell me we got that chest bump.
That is a tough chest bump right there. That is two players who have not played together.
That's a good spot there from Munro. We'll take it. Barr was pumping the fist. Lane was coming in for the chest bump. Didn't want a chest bumper if she didn't jump because he would have knocked her over. So it was very, very delicate. It hit Lane's paddle first.
Oh, it did. I was like, what? I was like, what happened? What?
Calm down here, bro.
I was like, what in the world happened?
Yeah, that one tipped off Lane's paddle and then Barr hit it back. Munro lucky that the referee actually caught that, though. It's a situation where you still want to hit the ball.
That's not the spot right there. Again, Jack Munro is dead red there, waiting for that speed up. And again, he's ready for that counter. So,
yeah, just going back to my comment as far as a situation where you want to hit the ball, you don't want to just catch it like Munro did there if the referee happened to. Oh, that ball landed in. Ooh. Did it not?
The ball called.
Yeah, we're going to challenge that one.
The ball called out on the court, so Munro deciding they want to use a challenge here.
I think that one might have been inside the line.
To take a look. So here's another look at it. This is the call that's being challenged. Looks in from that angle, but we're going to get the official word here after our video review on championship court.
So ball reversed. If it is reversed, it'll be 3-0.
This is the second challenge that Munro and Grambeau have had here in this match. First one also successful, or was successful. Looks like they're going to go 2 for 2, but we'll wait for the official word. In the meantime, what have you liked about how Jack Munro and Kelsey Grambeau have started this third game to get them this early lead?
Well, right now they're going behind Lane, keeping him honest, and then it opens up the left foot of Susanna Barr. So therefore, Munro's able to step in and apply a little bit more pressure. If they just go out to that forehand of Barr, she can control the points enough to keep Munro out of it.
Another look at the call in question, seeing what our video officials taking a look at. And as expected, the ball called in after the review. So it's going to be Kelsey Grambeau. Kelsey Grambeau with the serve, 3-0-1.
That ball was out.
Barr trying to make light of her missed last call. She's like, I think that one was out.
Ball's just wide there from Barr, trying to slide it down the line behind Grambeau, but pushes a little too far.
So a quick start to this game for Munro and Grambeau. Up 4-0 here in game 3. But that dink left a little bit short. So it will be Barr and Lane with another opportunity to get on the board.
Got to answer here, though. Down 4 here in game number 3.
Two-handed backhand, left short from Susanna Barr, and onto their second serve. Beautiful lob from Susanna Barr. Munro tries to get around it. Can't do it.
Off her paddle, I thought it was long, in all honesty. I think got knocked down. Yeah, right on that line.
Good return there from Munro. Just a little lazy with the footwork there from Lane. Trying to hit inside out, but didn't quite get the body all the way around it. Needs to be an explosive first step there. Get the body outside that ball.
Good leave there from Brandon Lane.
Too flat.
Yeah,
High ball
bit,
there
right.
with an open face paddle, and you're trying to punch through it. That ball's gonna find a difficult time dropping in the back of the court. That's something that you got to punch through, but a little bit more closed off with the paddle.
Yeah, got to brush up through that, get some spin on it, goes long. But again, nice hold here from Lane and Barr, but still trailing by 3.
Time to find some offense if you're Brandon Lane and Susanna Barr. Lane with the serve.
That's a nice cut backhand there from Kelsey Grambeau, hard to the backhand side of Brandon Lane.
Oh, the wind gusted right as she was about to serve. It's almost a situation where you feel the wind gust try to grab the ball before you let go.
And again, you got 10 seconds. Hold on to it. Let that gust die down a little bit.
Instead, it'll be a side out. Grambeau and Munro with a chance to extend this lead, but that ball left into the net, so quickly onto their second serve. Like we mentioned, the wind here in Cincinnati really is coming in gusts. It's not consistent. It's not going in the same direction.
Well, we had one of those gusts last night as well when the whole center court blew away.
That was wild.
Tents and cameras and...
Great job by our events crew here on the APP, getting us reset and ready for action today.
There's that defense again.
Wow.
Good leave there by Susanna Barr, getting out of the way of it. So again, Brandon Lane and Susanna Barr haven't been able to find much offense, but doing a great job on the service sides of Grambeau and Munro to keep them from extending this 3-point lead.
That's a nice adjustment right there from Brandon Lane, coming in under control, and then he finds the spot because Jack Munro is overplaying to his forehand in the middle, finds the spot behind. Beautifully done by Brandon Lane there.
Munro going for the reach there, and like it went off the edge guard.
Yeah, again, it's a good drop there from Barr. Munro committed early. He was going to take that no matter what.
So a chance to tie things up here for Barr and Lane. Good adjustment by Barr off the tape in the middle of that point and ties things up here in game 3.
Yeah, good pressure there from Barr. I do think Munro hit an out ball on the first forehand that she hit. It was flat.
Ted, who hasn't played out balls this match?
You,
me, and AJ. That's
AJ.
it. We're the only ones that haven't played out balls. These players are, hey, they came to play. They didn't come to watch balls go out.
No, a tightly contested game 3 here in our mixed doubles quarterfinal action. The crowd filling in here in Cincinnati, and they're getting a treat here. 3 games of pickleball being played just in our first quarterfinals match. 4-4 here, the score in this third game. Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane scrapping their way back into this one early.
2 4-0 runs here. Game 3 to start. 4-0 run to start from Grambeau and Munro.
And it's interesting, you talk about whether it's better to have defense or offense, but it seems like Barr and Lane really actually used the defense to build some momentum for their offense, because before they managed to dig into that lead, they had those scoreless side outs that they forced from Munro and Grambeau. So now it's a matter of, can they continue to extend that offense? What do you want to see them do out of the timeout?
It's a good question. I'm thinking. No, just
give him some time.
Mull it over. You get back to me.
No, for Munro and Grambeau, they have to be aggressive here, put a little bit of pressure on, but not try to do too much.
Oh, wow. Susanna Barr with a little zip on the cross court.
Wow, and So she has that shot, Chad. We've seen it for a couple years now, but sometimes it goes away where she gets too much on top and it goes in the net. Right there, that was a clean one.
Beautifully placed, gives them the lead.
Oh, got him in the ear. Oh, got him in the jaw. That's a...
What? Oh, no, that was not going in. That ball.
So on to their second serve after Lane takes a little bit of friendly fire off the paddle of Barr.
Good ball there from Barr again. Munro stepping into the middle, trying to be the aggressor, get big, and Barr just pushes a nice ball out wide. We've almost seen a flip of, Barr and Lane were off balance in that first 4-0 run where Grambeau and Munro were going behind Lane, hitting left foot of Barr, and then Munro was able to step in. Now Barr and Lane are doing exactly the same thing. Once Munro started being more aggressive and getting into those points, now they're going back behind him and keeping him honest.
So at the end change, it is a 6-4 lead here for Susanna Barr, and Brandon Lane trailed 4-0 to start this third game, but have really just stayed solid to get back into this one and keep the lead. So if you're Munro and Grambeau, I love that, pickleball for fans of all ages. Munro and Grambeau, what do you have to do out of this end change to make sure that you get back into this one?
They need to get back to dictating the point. Right now, like Chad said, they're allowing Barr and Lane to dictate the point and push them around. It's who can push who around first. When you get to that 50-50 ball, meaning you're both up at the kitchen line, who can dictate play from there first is who's going to come out on top and who has come out on top of these points.
6-4-2, the score for Susanna Barr's serve.
Yeah, it's good.
Munro with a little change of pace and celebration.
Good
shimmy
touch there from Munro.
Take another look at the little shimmy. Jack Munro, excited about that one. Should be. Gets the ball back on their side. Chance to dig into this lead.
Nice spot. Nice step back there from Munro as well. Gives himself some separation away from that ball, able to pick the spot that he wants to go.
Oh, and Grambeau hesitated just a tad, but it wasn't on her. She felt Munro was really going to commit and go for that. That's why she was just a little late, but it wasn't on her.
Oh, Lane getting big with the overhead. Just finds the inside of that sideline. So Grambeau and Munro get 1 point back. Another look here at the winner. Well placed. Down the sideline. Susanna Barr with the serve. Chance to extend this lead. Good adjustment off the tape from Lane. Gets that ball back at the feet of Grambeau and Munro. 7-5.
Good spot there from Munro, right through the feet of Susanna Barr.
So pushes them onto their second serve. Brandon Lane with it.
Nice D again.
Grambeau. Smart right there from Munro, but it was all set up from by Grambeau right there as well. Doubling up behind Lane. He's trying to get back to the middle.
Kelsey Grambeau with the serve. Trailing 5-7-1.
Oh, Munro thought it went in the net. He started walking off the court.
Oh. Wow.
What was that point?
Grambeau and Munro having to adjust multiple times within that point, but they end up getting it.
Look, Munro hits this. Look, he starts walking off the court and landed in.
Wow,
Wind gusting.
Gusting right in the middle of that point. wreaked havoc on Grambeau's third. Kelsey shaking it off right now. Nothing you can do but smile, laugh it off, get to the next one. Not on her with all that wind gust.
Big step in there from Munro. Works out for him. Ties us up, 7-all.
I was about to say, with this wind gusting right now, that heavy cut floating ball is the way to go, because you just don't know how it's going to be affected by the wind. That one we saw it knocked down quickly by the time it got to lane.
Grambeau with the big forehand winner at the feet of Susanna Barr to take a 9-7 lead here in game number 3. Timeout called on the court. Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane trying to stall this momentum because Grambeau and Munro have found some.
Well, and they're using some backspin right now with these wind gusts, and what it's doing is it's floating the ball in the air, and then it's allowing that wind to really either push it down or move it around. And it's almost like in this game, the wind again has changed direction, where Barr and Lane are hitting now with the wind behind them, so they're not able to be as aggressive because of that chance of the ball sailing deep.
So it's a 9-7 lead here for Grambeau and Munro in a game 3 that decides who moves on to our mixed doubles semifinals here at the APP Vlasic Classic, Cincinnati. Jack Munro with the serve out of the timeout.
That ball's wide. Barr trying to double up and go down the line of Grambeau, but again, the wind moving this ball around.
Game point opportunity here for Jack Munro and Kelsey Grambeau, but Lane defending it. Defending it well, gets the ball back on their side. So now, with some work to do, Brandon Lane with the serve. Grambeau with a great spot between Barr and Lane. Pushing him onto their second serve. Susanna Barr with it.
I thought Lane should have sped up the ball previous to the one he hit back to Grambeau there. A good speed up from Grambeau. Ready for the second.
So second match point opportunity here for Jack Munro and Kelsey Grambeau. Munro with the serve.
Oh, that ball died again on Grambeau.
That wind is just coming up at some of the most inopportune time for these players. Kelsey Grambeau with the serve, trying to finish off this match.
A little confusion right there because Grambeau's going for that Ernie.
Yeah, I think she lets Munro take that.
Has to. He's there. He's covering.
So Brandon Lane with the serve, another chance to dig into this lead. Oh, Barr almost gets to that one. Off the net. Quickly onto their second serve.
Oh, nice hands there from Lane.
Grambeau can't get out of the way right there. It's again center mass.
That was red dot in the forehead right there.
So that halts a 5-0 run by Kelsey Grambeau and Jack Munro at a critical time for Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane to get back into this third game.
Wind pushed that way out right there.
And so again, it's another match point opportunity here for Kelsey Grambeau and Jack Munro. Munro with the serve. Third shot drive into the net off the paddle of Grambeau. Kelsey Grambeau with the match point opportunity. But Lane and Barr just refuse to quit on this third game and get another side out. Defend yet another match point.
Just fighting here, both of these teams. Here's that D again.
Oh, she cut that one too much.
Yeah, she's there. And again, you can't fall. She's been so money all day. She misses like one or two.
Chance here for Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane to tie things up. And they do, right in the middle. They find the spot. And it's a 10-all game here in game number 3. Susanna Barr with the chance to take the lead.
Wow.
Brandon Lane with the big forehand down the middle at the feet of Munro and Grambeau to set up a match point opportunity of their own. Take another look.
I didn't think he had the length to get this one. He did. I mean, he hit it clean. I didn't think he was there.
Great spot there for Brandon Lane. Timeout called on the court by Munro and Grambeau as they face their first match point of this mixed doubles quarterfinals. They've had 5 of their own, and now it is Brandon Lane and Susanna Barr with the chance to end things.
It's come down to who can dictate up at the kitchen line, right? And all of a sudden, Barr and Lang have dictated here and now have 2 opportunities. They're still on 1 here. So it's 11-10-1 with 2 opportunities here to move on. What they need to do right here now is Brandon Lane. Last thing I want to see him do is try and hit a highlight reel shot here on this third, right?
Yep.
He's got to get into the point. If it's attackable from midcourt, I'll take it. If it's at the baseline, I want to see him drop it in and work from there.
I mean, they're on the 1. Why not attempt 1 highlight reel shot?
Susanna Barr with the serve. And they get it done.
Wow.
Brandon Lane,
7 match
Susanna
points on the
Barr,
day.
relentless in this mixed doubles quarterfinals. A well-earned hug there after they just battle their way to the mixed doubles semifinals. We're going to hear from the brand new duo when we come back to Cincinnati.
Years from tonight, Grant Gill will become a legend when he totally kills it at his improv class's graduation performance. Knees will be slapped, suds will be sprayed. People won't know what hurts more, their cheeks or their sides. That's why he's already keeping himself in shape and razor sharp today with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
less is more, unless it's less beer.
Fat tire.
I would take a look at Barr and Lane. They've fought off 7 match points today, 5 here in this one against Grambeau and Munro. Excellent job from Lane, getting big there in the middle. And they're moving on. We're going to go courtside with Dominic Catalano with our winners.
Well, Brandon, I'll start with you here, buddy. I mean, I'll start calling you guys the cardiac kids. First match, you go down 10-8. You win game 3 in that one. You're down 10-7 here in game 3. What are you guys talking about during that timeout?
We're talking about the crowds here. You know, they want to cheer on us and everyone here and have a good time. So we wanted to put on a show a little. But no, you know, we were just like, we got to dig deep. We got to dig deep. You know, there's some wind out here. The sides are a little different. But just making balls, you know, when it comes down to it, just getting back into the kitchen. I feel like sometimes we're up and down like a roller coaster, but I'm just having a great time. You know, it's first time playing with Susanna here. My first year actually playing mix, and I love every minute of it.
And Susanna, Brandon hit on it a little bit. First time partnership. We got a lot of them this weekend. What's the difference for you two moving on to semifinals?
I mean, honestly, it's the glasses. But no, really, I mean, it's just so much fun. Brandon's bringing great energy. I mean, hats off to Jack and Kelsey. They played incredible. But we're just really trying to keep up and having fun and grinding.
All right, well, congratulations, guys. Moving on to the semifinals. We'll take a quick break. Oh, Brandon, you want one more thing to say?
My best friend's birthday today. Happy birthday, Randock.
My sister's birthday. Happy birthday,
there
Liz.
you go.
All right, we're going to try and take a break here. We get to our next match. We'll have our next match here on Championship Court coming next.